For years, luxury buyers mostly chase the same things: bigger towers, better locations, stronger brands. But Hyderabad's luxury market has matured. If I gave two buyers the exact same 5 crore budget, why would they reject each other's dream home? Because Hyderabad luxury buyers are quietly splitting into two tribes. One tribe wants visibility, the other wants livability. One wants to impress visitors, the other wants to enjoy everyday life. The projects they choose are becoming increasingly different, and that difference is beginning to reshape which projects will win over the next decade. Imagine two families shopping for a luxury home. Both can afford the same budget, both want a premium lifestyle, both are evaluating the best projects Hyderabad has to offer. Yet, what one family considers a dream home, the other sees as a compromise. Why? For years, luxury was relatively simple: bigger towers, better locations, better amenities, better brands. But Hyderabad's luxury market has matured. Today, most premium projects already offer these things, which means buyers are no longer competing for the same definition of luxury. And this is where something fascinating begins to happen. The divide is no longer about money, it isn't about affordability, it isn't even about luxury. It's about what buyers are actually trying to optimize for. Because beneath every purchase decision lies a hidden priority. And that priority is creating two very different tribes. Let's start with the first tribe. The tribe most people immediately recognize. They walk into a project and instinctively look up. They notice the skyline, the architecture, the arrival experience, the feeling the project creates before they even enter the apartment. For them, luxury is something that should be seen. The first tribe is what I call the status buyer. Not because they're superficial, but because luxury for them includes recognition. They want a home that feels special at the moment they arrive, a project that stands out, a project people remember, a project that creates an impression before a single word is spoken. Walk into any luxury project with a status buyer. Notice what captures their attention: the tower height, the architecture, the arrival experience, the brand behind the project. They aren't just evaluating a home, they are evaluating what the home represents. Their questions often sound like this: Is this project iconic? Will people recognize this address? Does this feel premium immediately? Is this the kind of project people aspire to own? Notice something: none of these questions are wrong. They are simply optimizing for a different outcome. Here's the interesting part: the real driver isn't luxury itself, it's recognition. Luxury becomes a signal, a way of communicating success, a way of expressing achievement. And historically, luxury real estate has always served this purpose. And to be fair, this mindset didn't emerge by accident. For decades, some of the world's most valuable homes have been valuable precisely because they became symbols. Certain addresses became status markers, certain buildings became landmarks, certain developers became brands people aspired to own. So, when a buyer prioritizes recognition, prestige, and visibility, they are not misunderstanding luxury. They are following one of luxury's oldest traditions. But then there's the second tribe, a tribe that often walks through the exact same project and notices completely different things. They rarely talk about skyline views, they rarely talk about iconic architecture, and sometimes they reject the very project status buyers love. Not because they're cheaper, not because they're less ambitious, but because they are optimizing for something entirely different. And here's where things get interesting. A project can be visually impressive and still feel frustrating to live in. It can have a stunning skyline presence and still become crowded over time. It can create a powerful first impression while delivering a very different everyday experience. And that's exactly where the second tribe enters the story. Because not every buyer walks into a project looking for recognition. Some are looking for something much harder to market, something that rarely appears on billboards, something that can't be captured in a drone shot. They are searching for how a project feels after the excitement fades. I call them the quality of life buyer. For them, luxury isn't defined by how many people notice the project, it is defined by how enjoyable the project remains after 10 years. Their version of luxury is not visibility, it's livability. Walk through the same project with a quality of life buyer, and you will hear completely different questions. How crowded will this feel? How many families share these same amenities? How long will lift waits become? Will these common areas still feel premium in 10 years? They are not evaluating the launch experience, they are evaluating everyday life. Just like status buyers have a hidden driver, so do quality of life buyers. The driver isn't prestige, it's control. Control over daily experience, control over crowding, control over how the project ages. They are optimizing for a luxury lifestyle that remains enjoyable long after possession. Here's where many luxury buyers make a mistake. They assume every premium project is trying to solve the same problem. It isn't. Some projects are designed to maximize presence, others are designed to maximize comfort. Some optimize for visibility, others optimize for daily experience. And judging one using the standards of the other often leads to disappointment. So let me ask you a question and answer it honestly. If nobody knew where you lived except you and your family, would you still choose the same project you're considering today? Your answer reveals more than any brochure ever can. This is why two buyers with the exact same budget can reach completely different conclusions. One walks into a landmark tower and immediately falls in love. The other walks into the same project and starts calculating density. One sees prestige, the other sees future crowding. One sees recognition, the other sees daily experience. Neither is wrong, they're simply optimizing for different outcomes. And this isn't happening just among buyers, it's happening among developers too, because builders understand these tribes. Some projects are deliberately engineered to create a powerful first impression. Others focus heavily on long term livability, which means the market is quietly becoming more specialized than ever before. As Hyderabad's luxury market matures, this divide will likely become stronger. Buyers will become more informed, more selective, more intentional. And projects that try to be everything for everyone may find that increasingly difficult. Because the future luxury buyer isn't asking, is this premium? They're asking, premium for whom? After hearing all this, you might be expecting me to declare a winner, status buyer versus quality of life buyer. But that's the wrong conclusion. The goal isn't to belong to the right tribe. The goal is to know which tribe you belong to before making a multi crore decision. Because the biggest regret in luxury real estate isn't buying a bad project, it is buying a project designed for someone else's priorities. So, I'm curious, which tribe do you belong to? The buyer who values recognition, skyline presence, and address prestige? Or the buyer who values comfort, livability, and everyday experience? Do let me know in the comments. And more importantly, has your answer changed after watching this video? Until I see you next, this is Gated Decode signing off.